Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on Greek and Latin roots. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. We're doing grade 5. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of Greek and Latin roots. All right. So our chapter is Greek and Latin roots. The subject is, we're doing English Language Arts. Grade 5. And in the lessons that we are going to be focusing on today, under the chapter of Greek and Latin roots, we're going to use Greek and Latin roots as clues to the meaning of words. We're going to use the meaning of words as clues to the meaning of Greek and Latin roots. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. All right, so we said we're going to use Greek and Latin roots as clues to the meaning of words. And use the meanings of words as clues All right. So that is going to be our lessons for today, where we are going to be using Greek and Latin roots as clues to the meanings of words, and we're going to use the meanings of words as clues to the meanings of Greek and Latin roots. All right. All right. So when it comes to Greek and Latin roots, right? So Greek and Latin roots, it seems like words where it means a certain thing, and then if there's certain words it also has the same, let's say, root of it, then it means that the words with the same root will kind of have the same meaning also to that word, right? And an example of, let's say, a Greek and a Latin root is, for example, let's say we look at the word biblio, right? If we look at a word biblio, so the word biblio, right? The meaning of the word biblio means books or books of, right? Or of books. So now, if we look at biblio, then we think of the word bibliography, right? And the word bibliography, right? If you look at the word bibliography means it's like where you are, it's like listing a book of referred books that you, let's say for example, you had to search for, you're doing an essay, or you're doing a project on the global economy or something, right? Or how the economy changes or climate changes. Now you go either to books, you go on the internet, and then you are now searching for articles or things that people have written. Then at the end of that, let's say at the end of your essay, at the end of your project, you need to have a bibliography, and a bibliography is where you list basically all the books that you refer to within your, either within your essay or within your project or assignment, where you had to go and research specific information based on the topic that was given to you, right? But the Greek and the Latin root of that word bibliography, right, is biblio. So it's biblio, right? And biblio is the Greek or the Latin root. And then the meaning of biblio, we said it's to do with books, or it is something to do of books. And a word that we can use, we said, is bibliography, right? And then the same one, we have another word that is gram, right? And no, it's not to do with Instagram, right? But gram is a Greek and Latin root, right? And the meaning of gram is to do with writing. And when we look at the word writing and you look at the word gram, and then a word that might be similar to gram or shortened for gram, or a word that is, is grammar, right? So grammar, remember in English, we specifically always look at your grammar, or that is at least one of the things that we look at when it comes to English, right? It's how you write your essay, how you formulate your words. It's a structure of the language, right? Or the structure and the use of the language. That is grammar. And then we also have a word. Let's look at the word lingo. And if you look at the word lingo, right, and then we can think of the word linguistics. Linguistics, right? This is grammar. And let's say this is books. Let's give the meaning books. And this is writing, structure of writing. And then if you look at linguistics, right, is to do with language. Right, so these are but a few example of Greek and Latin roots, right? Where we have the Greek and the Latin root, right? Here we have the meaning of the words. And then if there's a word that we can make with that, let's say the Greek and the Latin root, bibliography. There we have gram for grammar. There we have lingo, which is linguistics, right? Which means that it's not saying that bibliography is books, but bibliography is to do with books, or it is of books, and it's a list of, let's say, books or articles or authors and stuff that we write down to show that we got it from that specific books and articles. Gram in grammar to do with writing, so which means that in grammar we look at the style of your writing, the structure of your writing. And then we look at linguistics, right? Lingo means language. Linguistics can mean English language, can mean the Afrikaans language. It's more like where you're studying language, for example, and language can be any form of language that you are literally studying and researching. Right? All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to find out more about Greek and Latin roots. And we're now first going to look at, we're going to use Greek and Latin roots as clues to the meanings of words. And then we're going to use meanings of words as clues to the meanings of Greek and Latin roots. All right. So now, when we look at the roots, right, it says roots is a part of a word that has a certain meaning. And we made an example of biblio, we made an example of gram, and we made an example of lingo. All three of those Greek and Latin roots, or roots, for example, were part of a specific word, right? And they have a meaning. Because remember, we said the word biblio means books or of books. We said gram means writing. And we also said lingu, right, means language. And if we look at these three words are roots. And they say roots is a part of a word and it has a certain meaning. Words that share the same roots, they often have similar meanings. So which means that if we find a word, like for example with biblio, right? If like biblio is to do with books, right? It's a list of books or articles or stuff that you had to write down to show that okay, this is the books that I got from these articles, or or this is where I got my information from. So then we have the word bibliography. Whatever word we're going to find with biblio in front of is going to have a similar meaning of books or of books. So that is why we say a root is a part of a word, which is biblio, gram, and lingo, for example, and it has its own meaning. It has a certain meaning. And these words, if we have words that share the same meaning, for example, as biblio, or share the meaning as gram, or share the meaning of lingo, then it means that they often have either similar meanings, or they share the same meaning, or they share the same roots, so they have similar meanings or same meaning, and that are related to the meaning of the root. So, like I say, if it's gonna like bibliography, if we find another word with the word biblio in front of that word, then it means that both of that words are gonna have similar meanings that is gonna do with books. All right. So now, if we look at the root word fun, look at the root fun or phone, because the word is gonna sound like phone, right? But it's like the spelling, or we would think that the pronunciation would be fun, right? So let's say either fun or phone. And the meaning of that word, or that root word fun or phone, is sound. And if we look at this root word, right, the root word is fun or phone, and phone means sound, right? Now, let's look at words that have similar meanings or that share the same root. So, we're going to look at words that share the same roots. Here we have the word xylophone, right? And a xylophone, we can say, is a musical instrument with wooden bars that are hit by small hammers. And what does a xylophone do? It creates sound. And whichever little wooden bars you hit on, it makes a different sound. Right? So, xylophone means something to do with sound. It is a musical instrument. Remember, a musical instrument in general makes sound. So, this xylophone is a musical instrument with wooden bars that are hit by small hammers and it creates a sound. Each little wooden bar you hit makes or creates a different sound. Then we have homophones. Homophones. And homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different meaning. That's homophones. They sound the same, but they have different meanings. Right? And if we look at examples of homophones, right, then it can be let me just think of a homophone of words that sounds the same, but they have different meanings. Think of the word cell. We have cell and we have cell. Look at these two words. These two words are spelled differently. However, they sound the same, but they also have different meanings. So they sound the same, but they are spelled differently and the meanings also different. Because the first word cell, right, is to do with the cell phone, right? And in the second word, sell is like where you are buying, like you're selling something to someone where in exchange for money or exchange for something, right? So that is the two different meaning. One is to do with the cell phone, another one is to do with where you give something away in a form of money or in a form of an exchange of something. You're selling something. But these two words have the same sound. They sound the same. So homophones are words that sound the same. Phone to do with sound. Then we have another word, telephone. Telephone. And a telephone is a machine that can carry the sound of someone's voice over a long distance. You can be in Canada, I can be in South Africa, and yet when you maybe call me or I call you, then it means that this little machine carries the sound from one voice, from my voice to your voice, over a long distance. So it's been carried over a long distance. So which means that we hear sound. You hear the fact that you can hear my voice means that you hear the sound that is being traveled or carried over, let's say basically in a lot from the long or in a long distance or over a long distance. All right. And if we look at those words, right? All three of those words, there we have xylophone, we have homophone, we have telephone, and all three of these words have the word phone in, right? And the word phone or phon means sound. Xylophone is a musical instrument that makes sound. Homophone is a word that sound the same. And telephone is a little machine, right, that carries sound from someone's voice to the other over a long distance. That is sound. That is the root word. The root word phon, right? It is a part of a word that has a certain meaning. Phon has a meaning that's to do with sound. But now, phon shares the same, shares that root with three different words or more, and all three of those words that we just mentioned have similar meanings. And those similar meanings are related to the meaning of the root, which is to do with sound. Which is xylophone is to do with sound, musical instrument. Homophone is to do with sound. It's words that sound the same. Telephone is to do with sound. It is a machine that carries sound of a voice over a long distance. Right? So that is but one root word that we just went over. Or let's say not even one, but more examples that we made of one root. If you look at another example of another root, right? Look at the word look at the word cyclo. Here it says you can use your knowledge of roots to figure out the meaning of words that you haven't seen before. So there's a lot of words that we have not seen before. But if we know the roots and we know the meaning of those roots, then it means that we will be able to create our word, or let's say create the meaning based on what the root is. For example, the root cyclo. Cyclo means circle or cyclo means wheel, right? Then we have another word, another root, which is meter. And meter means measure. So if meter means measure, cyclo means circle, then if we put those two words together, cyclometer, then cyclometer is a device that measures how many times a wheel turns, right? And that is why we said that you have a root word like cyclo means circle or wheel. Meter means measure. If we put those two words together, then we can say cyclometer. It is a device or something that measures. Meter is measure, measures how many times a wheel turns. And when a wheel turns, then it of course turns in circles, goes round and round. All right. Now we're going to look at an activity and then we are going to our test. It says the root tract. The root tract means to pull or to drag, right? If the root tract means to pull or to drag, then what does the word tractor mean? Tractor. Is tractor a large automobile used to pull and move farm equipment? Or is tractor A large automobile used to make measurements. Or is tractor a large automobile you can drive a long distance or far away? What is the meaning of tractor? Is tractor a large automobile used to pull and move farm equipment? That is underlined in red. Is it a large automobile used to make measurements? That is underlined in blue. Or, like underlined in brown, a large automobile you can drive a long distance or far away. And if we were to find the meaning of the word tractor, because tractor is, it means to pull or to drag, and then we can say it is a large automobile used to pull and to move farm equipment, right? That is a tractor. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to use Greek and Latin roots as clues to the meaning of words. All right, here it says a thermometer is a tool that measures heat or it measures temperature, right? The root meter means measure. What does the root therm mean? If the root meter means measure, what does the root therm mean? Does it mean light? Does it mean heat? Or does it mean sound? Once again, I'm going to say, look at the word thermometer. Thermometer means it is a tool that measures heat or it measures temperature, right? The root meter within that word is measure. But now, what does the word therm mean? Does it mean light? Does it mean heat? Does it mean sound? Option 1, light. Option 2, heat. Or option 3, sound. Which option is correct? Option 1, therm means light. Option 2, therm means heat. Or option 3, therm means sound. All right, and if we were to choose the correct answer, Then we can say therm, the meaning of therm, right? Within the word thermometer, we can say the meaning is option 2, heat. And the reason why it is heat, because if thermometer, right, is a tool to measure heat or temperature, and the word meter, the root meter means measure, then it means that we are measuring heat, which is option 2. Yes, option 2 is correct. Well done. Well done. All right, now let's look at the next one. It says the root port. The root port means carry. Now, what does the word portable mean? If the root port means to carry, then what does the word portable mean? Does it mean able to easily be carried, or able to be easily seen, or able to be easily heard? Portable, able to be easily carried, able to be easily seen, or able to be easily heard. Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct meaning of the word portable, if port means to be carried, and then the meaning is yes, portable means able to be easily carried. And the root of the word portable is to be carried or is carried. So well done. Option 1 is correct. All right, psychology. Get the word psychology. Psychology is the study of human behavior, right? And mind. So psychology is the study of human behavior and the mind. The root logy, it means the study of something. What does the root psych mean? If the word, if the root logy means study, right? Study of something, logy. But then what does the word psych mean? Does it mean light? Option 1, life, option 2, or mind, option 3? Logy. What does logy mean? All right. And if we look at the word or the meaning of the word logi, then we can say the meaning of the word logi is option three, yes, which is mind. Option three, mind. Well done. Mind is correct. All right, let's do another one. It says the root viz, right, means to see or to look at. Viz means to see or to look at. But now, what does the word visible mean? Visible, if the root is to see or to look. Is it able to be seen? Option one. Able to be changed? Option two. Or able to be bent? Option three. So, which one is the correct answer? Is visible able to be seen? Option one. Able to be changed? Option two. Or able to be bent? Option three. Visible. The root word vis means to see or to look at. To see or to look at. Now, what does visible mean? Able to be seen, option one. Able to be changed, option two. Or able to be bent, option three. Which one is correct? And if we look at the correct answer, the answer is able to be seen. If vis means see or look, then option one is correct. So option one is correct. Guys, you guys are not following and you guys are not listening. And you come on here and you are having your own conversations, and then you just expect me or you wait for me to finish the lesson. I'm not sure if I need to let your parents know about this or let my bosses know about this, because some of you are not focused at all. So next time when we have our lesson again, please respect the others that are here. And if you don't want to be here, then please let us know. All right? So the lesson is done, but I think next time let us respect the others that are here, that wants to learn, that wants to listen, and that is not tired of school. So I'm going to report you guys next time if this is going to happen again. But this is the end of our lesson. And I really hope that you guys at least have an idea of what Greek and Latin roots are. So till next time, have a good evening further. Goodbye.